Is there how do you balance largely between brand versus price sensitivity? Because that's a very major challenge with products in India, right? The customers value the discount and the price and the offers a lot more than they value anything else, right? How do you balance that within your product decisions?
I was reading this book called Alchemy by Rory Sutherland. I recommend every designer or an entrepreneur who's trying to build a brand to read this. So this guy talks about how people love discounts, right? Because discounts ka payback hai that you end up feeling smarter, that I saved 30 rupees, I saved 50 rupees. So it is just, but there is another part to pricing that if you lower your price too much, then you're actually giving a signal that and you're not giving people this gratification that I could have been smart. When you are giving user a gratification of saving money, so this emotional payback is supremely important of how you price it. If you price it too low and say कि discount नहीं करेंगे, then you're not giving anybody any gratification of feeling good. At the same time, you're being very obvious that this is cheap.
Right.
And people also do, and at least certain categories that hampers that product or that brand deeply. Yeah. And it might depend on category to category, but if you have a car that you want to, what is your positioning, right? It actually starts with, hey, who do you want to sell to? What is your positioning? And then that is pricing. If you want to create a very premium looking car and you actually put a very cheap ass price to it,
right?
Then you're just clearly giving people signals. Pricing a signal to actually value that brand in a certain category.
Right. Yeah, it is. And how do you end up coming across not as a cheap alternative, but at the same time maintain the value that you uphold in the customer's mind on the brand? That's a tough one.
Yeah, how do you let the brand shine through? Because I will have to talk about offers and deals and whatnot. And that is that happens on a daily basis and weekly basis. How do you not let that drown your brand experience?
Deep question, yeah.
It's a very...
Because we see that every single day and we always wonder how do you balance the two?
यार हर चीज की
Please, go ahead.
मुझे लगता है कि, and these are all learnings, right?
Yeah.
Where in a user's journey, first somebody has to create an intent that, hey, am I excited about this product? This is something that I'm actually interested in. And that time, offer should not be in the picture of narrative. That time it is all about this is the emotion page. This is how you will feel wearing it, using it, going through it or whatever, right? And that is where you're building the intent and creating, I want this. Sometimes a friend can give you that intent, sometimes your journey can give you that intent. And it can never start with 50% off.
Exactly.
It has to start with what is this product, why it has some value in your life. That demand needs to be there. Once that is there and I now know कि यार मुझे तो चाहिए, I want to buy this beautiful cup. I'm already decided कि मुझे खरीदना है. Now I have multiple alternatives to buy this. Within this brand I have 4 different choices to make, right? If you put a sale, the objective of sale is to do what? Objective of the sale is to convert immediately, drive urgency. That why should you buy today? You should buy today because so and so is going on and you're not postponing the decision anymore. You're saying, अरे आज ये sale theme चल रहा है और आज ये, and this is why. So if the place of the sale is to come when somebody's decision has been made कि मुझे खरीदना है, I want to get into fitness, sale should only come then. It cannot start with 50% off है तो fitness थोड़ी करने लगूंगा.
Correct.
I'll come because Adil was talking about cult and it is such a cool place and I want to lose my weight and this is such a so and so great product. And then when cult says कि आज होली सेल चल रही है, आज इतने % ऑफ है, is the reason I will not postpone my decision tomorrow.
Or call it no excuse sale.
Or call it
such an amazing name.
In your narrative, know when to say what.
Correct.
If my conversation has to start with first get you in, then tell you why today.
Interesting. Do you also face this? Or you don't have a use case that typically has to...
No. We have the daily use case. No, see, I think, I think you have to make the platform affordable for consumers, right? That's very clear, right? And after the positioning comes the product branding itself, right? Like once you're clear about who are the customers not every customer will use all your products that you're putting out there, right? There will be some segments of customers who are price sensitive,
Right.
and it's very important for a brand to recognize that do they want to play in that and position products accordingly, and even create products for that segment.
Right.
So that's very, very important. That also creates brand trust, by the way.
Right.
To say, okay, I love this brand, I know I will pay up, but can you make it affordable, right? There are many ways to make it affordable, right? Like, in the sense that if a brand cares about that customer segment,
Right.
they will create segues in the product experience to make sure
Right.
that they will curate some of these products, right, that are affordable for them and make it available for them,
Yeah.
right? You can't just say, okay, now it has become a convenience product, it's a luxury product for you, so you won't be able to order.
Right.
So for example, right, like, we went with an assumption that, our subscription plan is for everyone. And we priced it so everybody wanted free deliveries from all restaurants. That's a very,
Easy
I mean, in the hindsight, it's so fundamentally wrong that we thought about it that way. And we priced it so high, right? And we thought that, okay, maybe we don't have that many repeat users, maybe they're not interested in this product or something like that. That's when we understood that, okay, like, the problem is not with that. Everybody wants a subscription plan. They're ready to pay up also, but they may not have such a urgent or repeated use case, right? Like
Yeah.
ordering 30 times a
Yeah.
month.
Right.
So that's when we understood that, okay, 30-40% of our consumers, they only order 10 to 12 times a month, and we don't have a plan for that, right? Neglecting that, right, is the biggest mistake a brand can make, right? Adapting to that customer need state, right, and evolving your product experience to continue to target and segment to that customer. That is when a brand actually evolves, right? Like Tata is still known for making it affordable at the right price point, as well as with the quality and the service.
Yeah.
You buy from a Tata, an average Indian consumer would just close their eyes and buy from a Tata brand,
Yeah.
right? That is what Swiggy always aspired to be, right? Like, so we thought we can't, like if it's an everyday product like just ordering food, we can't just neglect a section of people to say,
Yeah.
we're not going to use that. We're
Yeah.
going to make it affordable for them.
Yeah.
What is the right price point for that? That builds trust, right? Like, and we can always target and segment accordingly. So that's at least our take on this.
From the world of Tata, there's also great learning. When they launched Nano and they called it the cheapest car in the world,
Yeah.
they had the right product. They had just the perfect product
Perfect
for the
product.
Indian ecosystem.
Calling it cheap,
But
yeah.
the emotional taboo that you created by saying
Yeah.
that this will be the cheapest
Yeah.
car, it just became a flop just because of wrong branding
Wrong
of the
branding.
product.
So
It was not aspirational anymore.
You
Yeah.
just made it कि यार अब वो घर वाले जो खरीद सकते हैं 1 लाख में,
हाँ.
they could have got the entire family into a car, will not buy कि यार नैनो थोड़ी खरीदेंगे, लोग क्या सोचेंगे.